Are you ready to connect with nature in a whole new way? Welcome to The Green Scene, your guide to a greener, healthier world. Join Green Corridors Andiswa Dlamini, Duncan Pritchard and Sharlene Versfeld to explore the wonders of nature and find out how we can live more sustainably and take small actions at home and work to make a big impact.
Hello everyone, welcome back to The Green Scene. Joining me, the usual suspects. Hello team. Hello.
How's it, Susan?
Let's talk about how do we get our kids back out into nature. It's a constant issue today, especially because we're battling against technology, and technology has become our babysitters. You know that when your kid is on the iPad, as long as it's, guarded and you know exactly what they're watching, you're good. It's a good 30 minutes, an hour. How do we get them back out into nature? Yeah.
It's one of these things we're all facing now in this 21st century. They have to be involved in the technology, otherwise they're going to get left behind. But getting them out is about allowing them to play. And I often say there's nothing better than giving a child a pile of sand and mud and water, and they'll be entertained for hours. A couple of sticks and their imaginations will take over. So for me, it's about creating those opportunities for children to play and use their imaginations in safe kind of environments. And then out of that grows a love for the environment and love for nature.
Duncan, let's hear from you. You've got a 9-year-old. How are you able to get your daughter to get out there and experience nature and get dirty?
For me, it's about striking a balance and using technology in the right way. Being outdoors in nature the science is very, very clear on that. Kids who spend more time outdoors have more creativity, less stress levels. So it's a really important thing to do, but at the same time, those gadgets are part of their lives. And I've found that you can use technology to actually spur the interest and getting them to ask questions and be curious about things. As an example, my daughter's just totally fascinated with strange weather events. So
she's 9, Duncan.
She's 9, I know, and she just loves natural disasters and earthquakes and tornadoes and storms. And that's from watching YouTube documentaries. And that's got her outdoors. The other day she watched a documentary on something on YouTube about things happening in the sky. And she came and ran to me and like, Dad, this weekend there's going to be a meteor shower. And that inspired her to actually, for us to go out and look for this meteor shower. It turned out to be cloudy, so we didn't see a thing. But I think technology can be used very, very in tandem. Those sky apps. You've got apps with bird calls. Encourage Google Images, encouraging them to take photographs and identify. So when we go for a walk, Gaia's always got her little phone with her, and she loves taking photographs of little bugs and figuring out what they are. So I don't think it's one or the other. Personally, I don't think it's one or the other. But we can use technology to inspire that curiosity and that interest, and that, because there's a lot you can learn from. The internet's kind of planted as this terrible thing for kids. But I've certainly seen it inspire so much creativity and so much questions from watching documentaries or using these apps to identify a bird. And the other day she surprised me. She knew what a Birchall's cuckoo sound was like. So I don't think it's one or the other, but you can use that to inspire an interest in nature.
With young parents nowadays, they get very freakish when their kids get a bit dirty in the play field and they touch other kids and they say, there's germs this, germs that. Me growing up in Harding, we didn't have the germ things. You would bath at the end of the day. Even if it did happen, it happened. Gogo would be clapped in bed, living with a 78-year-old Gogo. But, you wanted to wake up early in the morning and go get wild berries and have there was this jelly, they call it intlaga in isiZulu. We used to love it as kids, but we used to get all sticky and then you go to the mud and all of that.
And the science is very, very clear on this. Just go and Google it. The mental health benefits for children outdoors, especially for things like ADHD, anxiety, lack of concentration. The science is crystal clear that it's a huge solution, and same for your immune system. Kids who are exposed to dirt and sand and mud from young ages have better immune systems, and that's not opinion, that is very clear science and fact. So I do think that they can be combined. I don't feel it's one or the other, and I don't think you'll win the battle if you try. I remember our parents saying, if you watch TV, your eyes are going to go square and you're going to have all of these health problems.
And look what happened.
And look what happened.
Technically they are, since you do wear glasses.
I don't think you can take it away, but it's a wonderful tool if used in the right way to inspire that curiosity. And there's so many great apps and gadgets for kids to use outdoors. And watching a YouTube documentary on making an ant farm And then, she's got the skills to go and make her own little ant farm, using that as a tool rather than punishment to get away. Okay, now you've had 2 hours on iPad, now as your punishment, you've got to go outdoors. Yeah. No, take the iPad with you. Let's go identify some flowers. Take some photographs of some cool things you see. Or when we come back, oh, Dad, what was that? Oh, well, you can go and watch a documentary about it. It's not even a documentary, it's little shorts. So I think they can be used in tandem.
Yeah. Sharlene, just a quick one. You are a mom of two, who one is now adult and other one is still teen. Do you feel it's always been, with technology, a battle to get them out, like now, even as teenagers, get them out there and playing and exploring?
Yeah, yes and no. I think because it's been something we've always done, going into the bush or going into the garden or searching out and using their curiosity to investigate what's going on. It's never been an issue, I think one of the things is, and the curiosity thing about children is such a lovely thing where, and the internet, for example, you go and you see a wildflower and you don't know what it is. And then you can use, if you don't have a guide with you, you use Google Images or whatever, and it will come up with what it is, how it works, and maybe some traditional medicine uses for it and that kind of stuff. So it's never been a battle for us. It's just been something that we've always done because we just love being outdoors, and it shows in the sort of people that they are.
Let's talk about some ideas on how our listeners could actually encourage their kids to be more outdoor and exploring.
Yeah, well,
how do we do it?
I mean, a start would be grow a seed. Everyone's got a bean in their house. Learn to grow a seed and plant the seed and watch it grow and to see how just getting in touch with how things grow. I mean, at junior school they do that,
So that could be done like in and around your home, your homestay,
on your windowsill.
Yeah.
Put the bean in a piece of cotton wool with some water and watch it grow. And there's something hugely exciting about watching your vegetables grow. And this is for the kids that might not live in environments where they can do that. Understanding where their food comes from, and that's a start.
And I think kids take to it really naturally too. You'll get that initial pushback that I want to do this instead of that. But when they are outdoors, they have a blast. I mean, you must know examples from like the Wilderness Park, Green Corridors does.
Yeah.
I mean, those kids coming from that school, I've seen how they
look so excited.
The moment you just put them into that environment and allow that, it's such a natural thing. So you just got to gently break the tether to what's normal. And it's not a discomfort. For most children, it's not a discomfort. You've just got to take the time to create that experience.
Tell us about the Inanda Wilderness Park.
Yeah, it's the Inanda Wilderness Parks, where it works in such a way that they use local scholars from the neighboring schools. It's just outside of Inanda Seminary. So it's a wellness park. I would not even call it a wellness because what happens after? So they have an elderly age home up the road and then got scholars all come in at different times. So they're all doing activities in nature, but it's in the benefits of their body wellness. The kids go on the trails, they touch, feel through play, and this has also been proven that it's assisted them in the learning difficulties they've been having at school. So they're finding that the kids are actually performing a lot better through the program that they have there. And then they have the old age home, and these are the most coolest goggles there. You'll find them doing Zumba, and they're all active. Like, these are 60, 70-year-olds dancing in a park. Sorry. And then just from their moving, you get another group of them, or the same group of them, cabbages growing, but they do urban farming. So they'll farm it in like upcycled tires, maybe a patch there of tomatoes, a patch there of lettuce. They look forward to this. Like, I've spoken to them, and it's like their time away from home. And for example, you get the kids doing their own things, the trails, the goggles are there, and it's all a wonderful experience, and it's actually brought the community together.
Yeah.
Where before it was a space not used for anything, but now it's like the light of the whole Inanda glebe. So it's something they are now protecting, and it's stunning. It's a lovely program.
So I think it's just about making that available and taking the time, and I don't think you need to do anything really special. It's just making that time and that space to get kids outdoors. I think most children just take to it like fish to water.
And there are certainly, around Durban, there are certainly a lot of spaces if you don't live in a place that has a garden or outdoor space. We are a city of parks and gardens and spaces where you can interact with nature in a profound kind of way in most places around the city.
Yeah, definitely. With these wilderness parks, you're able to go volunteer an hour of your time and assist in the gardens or play with the kids. If you're an occupational therapist, even better. Just donate some hours to us, Green Corridors.
And the thing is, this is always free as well for kids. You know, if you think about it, the botanical gardens, the wilderness park, just, you know, if you get a pair of goggles on your face and take a kid to a rock pool in Umhlanga. You know, from the top, I always say, when you look at these little rock pools, you maybe see 20% of what's there. But just put your face in that water, and there's little fish, and there's little starfish, and there's crabs. And kids they get really immersed in these sort of experiences, you know, going and seeing all the birds breeding at the botanical gardens. And these are things that are free. And just taking that time and putting them into that environment.
Well, I think nurturing and encouraging curiosity. So kids love treasure hunts, for example. So if you said to them, I want you to go find a butterfly, a worm, a cricket and a stick insect, and come back and tell me when you found them and show me. You know, I mean, that kind of thing kids love to do. They love the challenge. So that would be a fantastic one. I've spoken about growing your own vegetables. Watching a bean grow is awesome, a bean or a lentil. Yeah, and just creating things out of nature. It's getting sticks and making little boats or climbing trees and getting your hands dirty.
Duncan, nature is also water. I mean, how do we get our kids connected to our water spaces?
And I don't think this is difficult. Go to the beach and see a kid who's looking miserable. It doesn't happen. I think it's so much about moms and dads just taking the time to create that environment. You go to the park, you never see a sad kid. You go to the beach, the kids are all happy, they're excited, they're playing in the waves, they're playing in the rock pools. I really believe that this is things that children, as much as they might fight you on it, they want to do it. You know, our daughter's always Saturday mornings go to the beach. Oh, Dad, but I'm busy playing Roblox. But when she's at the beach, she has a fantastic time. So I think a lot of it's not about forcing your kids outdoors. It's about you taking the time to spend with your kids outdoors. And there's so much you can do. The local park, the beach, the botanical gardens.
The green corridor sites.
Yeah, there's all these wonderful places that are really affordable, if not free, to do. So I don't think the problem's getting your kids off the gadgets. I think the problem's mom and dad take the time to do that.
Yeah, and it's the parents' responsibility.
It is, yeah. And you can spur, you know, and use technology, little...
And
we're going to go down to the beach.
Free.
Yeah, and we're going to go to the beach to a rock pool, but look at this little YouTube short about how cool this crab is, and we're going to go see one tomorrow. That creates that sort of incentive. So,
I mean, the Green Corridors does school tours and educational tours. That's also very affordable. You know, we do it at the mangroves. We're also able to take them to Inanda along the dam and different places. And it's also free to some people as well, for those who have never, ever been exposed to that. There's so much we could do as individuals to get our kids going.
Yeah. And there's, I mean, like the mangroves is just like, it's one of the things that I love the most, because you see kids... Yeah. There's something that the guides will do at the mangroves. And if you go down to any of the mangroves, even at Beechwood, just in Durban, go to the mangroves at low tide when the water's out and drop a leaf on the floor. Wait. And then you get these mangrove crabs that come running out to get the leaf and pull it into their hole. And every time a leaf will drop, a crab will run out. And kids just go wild for this excitement, like, who's going to come and fetch my leaf, you know? And it's those little simple things, but just understanding what's happening around you and be able to create that experience for your child, and they love it.
Guys, in closing, I know there's just been so much to be said. Any food for thought, guys?
I think encourage curiosity, encourage imagination, and I think, to steal Duncan's words, take the time.
Yeah, you never have an unhappy child outdoors. It says take that time, do that, encourage those sort of experiences for your children. There's just so much available, and it can be as simple as just going into the garden. A Cape honeysuckle, something I've been doing with my little girl since she was like 3 years old. Every time we go for a walk, we go past a Cape honeysuckle, we'll pluck off the flower and we'll suck it, and you can taste the sugar water in it. And it's those little simple things that just become habit. But I really do believe this isn't a problem with children and technology. This is about moms and dads taking the time.
And it's about creating experiences that will last a lifetime. Guys, thank you so much for today. Till next time, to everyone out there, please like us on all digital platforms and follow us. Till next time, thank you so much.
The Green Scene podcast is a partnership between East Coast Radio and Green Corridors. Find out more about Green Corridors via durbangreencorridor.co.za.